I'm talking with Coach Scott Privott, the head football coach of the Hertford County High School Bears. Welcome to the MHE Sports Network, Coach Privott.
It's glad to be here. It's always a pleasure.
Well, right now your team is undefeated in this young season. Like I said, first game, they beat South Central by a score of 39-21. That was a close game, but you blew it open late. Tell us about that game.
Well, it was a game that we had trouble with in the beginning of the first quarter. We were able to score right there at the end of the first quarter, and we were up 7-0. And going into the second quarter, with about 5 minutes to go before half, we scored again and actually got the ball back. And we threw an interception right before halftime, and they were able to score on the interception and got a little bit of the momentum going into half. We came out in the second half, we traded punts, and they punted the ball down about 4 minutes left in the third quarter on our 5-yard line, and we decided then to go into our power running game. We do run the wishbone. We're a spread team, but we do have the wishbone in our offensive package. And we drove the ball about to the 45-yard line. It was 4th and 2. The offensive lineman get mad at me because I wouldn't go for it. Well, I was playing field position.
Right.
Because we were playing lights out defense at that time. They had only but 23 yards of total offense for the whole game. So we were playing lights out defense. So my thing was, I knew the way we were playing defensively, that if we could hold them down, we punted it down probably to about the 20-yard line, and we held them there, and they punted back to us, and then we got the ball back right on our 46-yard line. And from then on, we drove the ball down and we scored on the third play. It was like a 46-yard touchdown run. And then we punted off to them, we kicked off to them again, we stuck them again. Then we had a back break loose for 70 yards from the wishbone. And then the fourth quarter, that defense just stopped playing. We gave up a big play on offense and 70-yard touchdown pass. It was because of a blown coverage. But we get the ball right back and we off to the races again. We run another 60-some yard touchdown. So that was, to me, that was the turning point when we went to our power running game. They were a finesse defense. Mm-hmm. And we had seen them on film and scouting people on film, you look at their tendencies. We actually went and saw them in person at a scrimmage, and the teams that they scrimmaged, a couple teams were wishbone teams, and they really didn't want to get down and physical. So me and my offensive coordinator made a decision in the third quarter, why not now? It's good to go to the wishbone now and see what kind of dividends that we'll get, and it paid off, and we stayed in it for the rest of the night. Like I told you, we rushed for 476 yards.
Wow, amazing. Yeah, because one thing about the wishbone, it's defensive assignment football.
It is.
And if you're not ready to take those backs on at a specific point, hopefully at the line of scrimmage or behind it, then you've lost.
You lost.
You lost. Right. I mean, because the momentum is there. And if you're going to be a finesse defense, then I would suggest that you play basketball.
That's it.
Because in football, it's a slobber knocking time. It's snot bubbles. It ain't time to be pretty.
And our wishbone is a little different than other people's wishbone, because what we do is our offensive system, we don't huddle up. Mm-hmm. So with the wishbone, we don't huddle up either. Mm-hmm. So you don't get a break. You know, if you get, some people say it's 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Well, after the cloud of dust, you can go back to the huddle and get your energy back. Mm-hmm. But you might get a 3 or 4 second break. But with us, it's not. Once the ball is placed, our offensive linemen are already at the line of scrimmage, and they're getting the signal in. We're calling the play from the sideline. Right. So it's not a typical wishbone where you really can. The only way you can slow us down is to call timeout. And we've worked on that for several years. So when we go to the wishbone, it's just like our spread attack. We're not going to huddle up. We're going to get it from the sideline. And it's the same momentum. It's just like it's a fast-paced offense.
Wow, that's nasty.
Yeah,
we're going to Coach, you can't even get your chin strap buckled.
Yeah,
somebody's coming at you again.
That's it.
Well, tell us about, you said you had 476 yards of offense. So it had to be some great running backs or some great runs. Tell us about the running backs and the yardage they got.
Well, our first running back that we had 198 yards. It was Kenny Sharp, and he scored 4 touchdowns.
Wow.
Yeah, and he scored first time. He scored our first 2 touchdowns in the first half, and he had a 70-yard run in the second half, and he had a 14-yard run in the second half.
Well, it's time for him to get some Gatorade.
It was. And he really paced himself well. I was proud of him. Parts of the game, he would raise his hand and let him know he was tired. And we'd get another running back came in for him. His name was Anthony Laster. He's more of a change of pace back. He's more of a slasher. You know, he's got moves in the secondary. Well, Wes Kennedy, he's a downhill runner. You know, he's not gonna give you a whole lot of moves. He's gonna hit it, and he's gonna hit it hard, and he's gonna get what he can get, and he always falling forward. But Anthony, he's totally different. He's a slasher, you know. He likes to. He's gonna hit the hole hard, but when he hits the hole, he's gonna try to make a move on you and get into the secondary. And our last little small back that we had that ran the ball was Tyus Leary. He's about 5'7", probably about 170 pounds. Real big thighs, typical wishbone fullback. You really can't see him.
Right.
And we're big up front, so when he hit it on the dive for about 70 yards, and he was gone because I think he only had 6 carries and had over 140-some yards rushing.
And one thing about those guys like that, especially like I say, the typical fullback in that wishbone, whenever they do break through, they are going to be gone because they know usually it don't happen that way for me.
That's exactly right.
I touch the ball and bam,
There it
somebody
is.
usually,
That's
you know,
it.
or either I'm just used to sacrificial lamb.
That's it.
So
That's
it's
exactly
kind of
right.
hard. Well, I heard you were talking about one of the players was talking about he was tired and wanted to come out. That reminds me of my coach. I used to hold my hand up and say, "Coach, I'm tired. I need to come out." And he'd yell back, "Only when you graduate." When you come out of the ball.
That's it.
So I can understand that. Well, tell us about Southeast Halifax tonight. They're coming in here to Ahoskie to play you in a very important non-conference game. Usually, my experience with Southeast Halifax is they're big and they're strong and they're very athletic. Tell us about this year's Southeast Halifax team and what you see.
What I see is a very, very disciplined football team. Offensively, they don't do anything fancy. They're going to run the split back veer. You're going to see a little offset eye, and you're going to see a little wing formation. You'll see a little wing T formation on offense. Defensively, they're going to either be in a 3-4 or 4-4 defense. Very good running backs. They don't throw the ball that much. When they do throw it, they try to throw it off play action. And they try to throw it deep. They do run reverse off the split back veer. They're going to fake the dive. Instead of coming on the option, they will hand it to the back that's coming behind them. So that's some of the things you'll see. Other than that, with the I formation, they're just mainly off tackle. They're going to try to dive it, ISO you off tackle. Defensively, they have some good set of linebackers that really flow to the football. So our offensive line really is going to have to be ready to pick up their blitzes, especially when they're in their 3-4 scheme, because they do bring their inside backers a lot.
And it should be a very physical game because they're always a very physical football team. And I'm not just talking about physical defensively. I'm talking about they can be physical offensively,
They are.
especially when they're diving off that tackle.
Exactly
I mean, they
right.
bring the house sometimes.
They do.
So you got to be absolutely ready at all times.
That's it.
Well, they're also coming in tonight. They're 1-0. So it's going to be a battle of the undefeateds here in Hertford County. So I really look forward to the game. So thank you so very much, Coach Privott, for appearing on the MHG Sports Network. And we look forward to a very good game tonight. And, hopefully you can come out with a W.
I appreciate all the time you took to come down here and see the kids that we have here at Hertford County High School.
Hey, not a
and it's a
problem.
pleasure once again.
Not a problem. Hey, I'm a Hertford County boy.
Okay,
All
thanks
right.
a lot.
All right.
Okay.